Well, as the West Asia conflict shows no signs of slowing down and has now completed 2 weeks, Iran earlier this week that we are looking at has now chosen its new supreme leader. The son of the late Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, Mojtaba Khamenei, has been chosen for this role. And now he has issued his first statement. He's not made any public appearance since, but this seems to be a strongly worded statement that Khamenei Jr. seems to be warning, especially when it comes to the strategic Strait of Hormuz, one of the world's most critical shipping routes. However, he says that it will remain shut, and when it comes to Iran, that will continue to exude its dominance over when it comes to this critical choke point, which nearly 20% of the global oil supplies passes through this route. He, however, has also signaled that the attacks in the region are far from over, saying that the strikes on the Gulf states will continue, and has urged countries in the region to clearly state their position when it comes to Iran. So let's take a look exactly when it comes to this resolve, this threat and this warning that is now coming from Mojtaba Khamenei's first statement. Now, as he has been claiming that there is a lot of Iranian dominance in the Strait of Hormuz, it will remain shut. Ships will not be allowed to use that route. The attacks on the Gulf states, however, he says that will persist, that will continue. And he's asked those Gulf states that they must take a stand and they must not offer their land, their soil when it comes to the US bases, because he says that this is all a lie. And when it comes to the avenging of the blood of the martyrs, including that of the killing of schoolgirls at a Minab school, where he has now said that he will be avenging those killings. Also saying, especially when it comes to the regional Gulf countries, saying and all of the US bases must shut down. If they do not, then Iran will continue with its attack. However, claiming that America's peace, the statement that has come in from American side, is nothing but a lie. This seems to be a resolve that the new Iranian supreme leader seems to be taking in his first statement. However, reacting to the first statement of the new Iranian supreme leader, Prime Minister of Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu, has now hit back. As far as when it comes to these developments are concerned, Netanyahu says that we also work to create the conditions for the Iranian people to expel this brutal regime. Netanyahu on Mojtaba Khamenei says that we've eliminated the old tyrant, and the new tyrant, the new puppet of the Revolutionary Guards, cannot show his face in public. Now, earlier there were reports of Mojtaba Khamenei having been injured or wounded. However, he's not made any first public appearance since assuming the position when it comes to the killing of his father, who was the Iranian supreme leader. However, this seems to be the first public statement that he has now issued, and he says that Iran is ready for a long-standing and prolonged war.
תוך זמן קצר חיסלנו את הצורר חמינאי וגם בכירים רבים במשטר הטרור. חיסלנו את הרודן הישן והרודן החדש, מוג'טבה, הבובה של משמרות המהפכה. הוא אינו יכול להראות את פניו בציבור.
All right. Well, that seems to be the Israeli Prime Minister mocking the new Iranian supreme leader. And Srinjoy, good morning. We've seen that kind of posts that have also been coming in from IDF, because they seem to be suggesting with the cutout of Mojtaba Khamenei that, you know, you can run but you cannot hide, clearly stating that he would be next on their target.
The Israelis have very good human on the ground in Iran, and that was clear from the first day of the war. They also have very good tech. They may have hacked into even road positions, so that they know who is going where and who has reached where. So all of that the Israelis are strong at. But how things pan out remains to be seen. But what we clearly know now is that the new Ayatollah is a hardliner. His positions are very clear. And the strongest point he's made is actually to the Gulf countries. Basically, he's told them that, look, you Gulf countries have American bases. So as long as you have American bases in your countries, you will be targeted, you will be attacked. So stop, close down these bases, and then you will be free from attacks from us. Now that's a very clear, unequivocal statement by the new Ayatollah, because here he's making it very clear to all the Gulf countries that he would not want any Americans to be in the area.
Yes.
So no American bases in Kuwait, in Bahrain, in Qatar, and all these places is his final position.
Absolutely, because attacks on US bases will continue, it will persist, and he is now asked when it comes to the neighboring Gulf nations to make their stand clear. Else, when it comes to Iran, well, that will not stop attacking when it comes to the US bases.